Production.
Yo, what's happening? Happy Monday. Cheers to a nice start to a new month. We're in the first trading week of April, I believe. So, yeah, hope you got a nice little coffee going this morning. I got a nice little iced caramel macchiato. Went for a little Starbucks run this morning. Let's get started into this week's ticker breakdown. So, what I'm looking for here on Air Canada is, well, everything's looking shaping up nice. I think right now is a pretty decent entry point, because what I'm looking for is a cup and handle pattern to form. And that would be pretty bullish, because if we see this cup and handle form here, it's a continuation pattern, which would then verify my main thesis with Air Canada, that we're currently in our third wave going to around $40. That would be absolutely bullish, and that's what we want to see happen on Air Canada, is this continuation play. Now what we want to see is a nice bullish move here coming up to this upper trend line. If we stall at this upper trend line, we want to see sideways consolidation. So this is kind of like the pattern that I think could potentially play out in Air Canada. That's coming up next. Could this happen like for sure? Absolutely not. Anything could happen. It could also still pull back towards this range right here, but I think these are my eyes in Air Canada. We've made a nice little base around $26, and now we're going to make our next leg up towards 30 again, so we could stall around that trend line. Once we break up over that trend line, we'll make our ways up to 40. Mvmd. So interesting stock here. Unfortunately, we're downtrending right now, right? Like, we're unfortunately in a downtrend, and we need to break over. I'm starting to see some pressure coming in, right? We're starting to see wicks coming in this range, which isn't good. We want to break up over here, and then this is another range we're gonna have to struggle with. So this one, I'm not really currently seeing the perfect buy opportunity, but I'm paying attention towards this zone and this zone, because we're gonna have to struggle in those areas before we break up over. If we do break up over, then I'd reevaluate at $1.50. Amkr. So this one is a ripping name. I'm not sure exactly what they do. It's a tech name. So since pretty much October 2020, it's been uptrending nicely. We had nice sideways consolidation, and it looks like we're just starting to break above. So we're breaking up over around 25.30, and that's bullish. I think that if this continues to go up, right, we want to see this now, like something like this, retest this zone. The retest of this zone is going to be the buy opportunity. I think if we can get a few days stall in that range, it's going to run for sure. But I so far really like what I'm seeing here. If you wanted to know what this pattern was, it was sort of like a ascending triangle into this trend line here. That's what I think was happening. So we kind of had some sort of ascending triangle into this resistance. I like it. I love that pattern. If you bought off this lower trend line, you're laughing. And then we've had a nice 16% bounce. Jeez, that's mean. I'd expect this to continue going. I think that this range right here, a zone where this stock is stalling in, right? So because we've been able to digest healthily in this range, if it could backtest this zone, it's going to go for a run. Or maybe it even wants to go for that run right now. Faux. I honestly like this faux name. If we look at the weekly time frame, this chart is, I think, juicy. We've been battling in this $2.40 range for some time, right? Came up again, failed, and now we broke up over it, and now we're using that same zone as support. It's acting as a demand now, and you can tell because there's 1, 2, 3, like 4 decent wicks in this range. I like this is weekly time frames too, right? So when we go to the daily, like it's spent some time, nice orderly pullback into this zone, and now we're getting that bounce with increased volume coming in on the last Friday. I like this name. I think everyone should add this on their watch list. It's $2.74 right now, and let's see what the first target is. If we run the fibs, $3.80. That's a pretty decent trade. If it goes to 380, 40% trade. I actually like the odds of that happening just because the demand looks like it's here. We had big bearish volume coming into these days, but there was no breakdown of 230. So that is telling me there's something good in this chart. So shout out to Nick Hines for bringing this chart up because I think there's some good potential here. We want to see what happens. The bear case is that, of course, it's going to continue hovering around this 230 range. But if it continues to act as demand, that is bullish. WBA, I like this uptrend here. Walgreens is a steady uptrend. I think we're actually about to break out too as well. So if you look right here in this range, we came into this $56 range and we stalled multiple times in an uptrend. So why is this an uptrend? Is because it's been steadily making like higher highs and higher lows as you keep going on, right? So it's a clear uptrend. I think it's going to continue going up. Why I think that is because we're now at this $56 range and look at each pullback. So each pullback became shorter. So this creating a higher low, right? So each pullback creates a higher low. I like that. And it's leading up into this $56 range. The sellers are starting to run out and it looks like there's big buyers coming in. So because it's doing this, you could expect it to break up over this $56 range, right? Maybe get it to come back here, make another higher low, and then let it go for a nice run. Now, where could it potentially go? It would make sense for it to come to this $62 range, right? Right here. It would make sense. Why would that make sense? Well, because we have previous resistance and like stall in this range. So because we have previous stall in this range, we could expect it to potentially stall there once again. So that's what I would expect for Walgreens. It maybe some short-term calls might be potentially a good play on this name. Potentially. Run. Oh, interesting. So the last time we were looking at run, this is what we had set up, the inverse head and shoulders pattern. Haven't touched it since, and it looks like it's broken bull. So what we could potentially be seeing right now is the back test of this trend line. So we want to keep this line drawn out. I'm going to keep it like that, and I like it, dude. Comes down, we stall in this range. We look at this. This is our new demand zone right here. Is our new demand zone. So I want to watch that because we held this range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 times. So I really like that on run. So what I want to see here is the volume, the bear volume drop off. I want to see it back test this trend line. And then after that, we're going on a run for sure. And we're going to go right back to $82. I shouldn't say for sure, but it's shaping up nicely. I really like what it's doing here. We just need to run out of those sellers. And then once the buyers step in, this is a nice name to keep an eye on. Keep it on the watch list because $57 right now up to 83. Ooh, 45% trade right there, right? And if it wants to go all the way back to all-time highs, that's almost 100% trade. 75%. Oof. I don't know. I really like run. I'm starting to like that because it's an uptrending name. It's made a nice pullback, sure, but it's an orderly pullback. Like this wasn't just a sharp like 5 days down and now it's down 50%. This made a nice orderly pullback since January until pretty much now, until April. And it's made like a 54% pullback. Healthy name. I think this is a great buy for this name for a long term, like a medium to long term swing. YVR. Interesting name here. I don't really like it though, just because when I look at this weekly time frame, we are continuously trending downward. Sure, we might have had a bottom. There's increasing volume coming in. It is notable, but like these wicks is kind of telling you if for the bullish case, I want to see this trend line continue to hold, and I want to see another big spike in volume. If you look, these big spikes in volume are days where it definitely goes for a run. The only thing about those days is that these large wicks is telling you that there's massive sellers coming in, right? Which is making me feel hesitant to why it could potentially continue to go down. Because now that I'm looking at it, yeah, I'm starting to see like the head and shoulders pattern now, right? This is why I love technicals. This is starting to shape up the head and shoulders pattern. We're starting to, it's warning us, right? Sellers are imminent. They're here. Sellers, they're here. Continue follow through. Continue follow through. This is the neckline. In my opinion, what we could look for is maybe a break of this trend line. We come back up to retest, and then we we eventually just continue to fail. I'd be looking for that in this name, YVR, unfortunately. PLTR. All right, PLTR. Now, this name is bullish in my opinion, guys. Like, if we go to the weekly time frame, we have potentially what, a triple bottom, double bottom. Like, I'm liking this. Look at this bear volume. It's dropping off, right? Okay, now when I go to this daily time frame, right, we're looking at PLTR. This was a major zone here. We tightened and we coiled up, and then we had a massive breakout and we went all the way up to $45. Look at this pullback into that range again, right? It's not like it is volatile. It is sharp at times, but now that I look at it, it's been an orderly pullback. Look at all of this bear volume. Why couldn't we break below this $20 range? That's telling me something's keeping this name up. PLTR. Like, in my opinion, a year from now, this thing could be at like 75 bucks. So who knows? It could also be bearish. If it breaks below 20, stay away. If it breaks below 20, I don't want to see what's on the other side, in my opinion. But it's holding up. I like this. If we have a bullish summer, this could be one of the names that just goes on an absolute run. It's already been at 45. So from here, 24 to 45, that's around a 90% trade. Are you kidding me? The opportunity is screaming. Like, I might have to get right back into PLTR, right? I don't know. I played it a little bit over here, and then it fizzled out. It wasn't the bottom yet. Now that we're seeing this be potentially the bottom, why do I think it's the bottom? Major wicks out of this zone. We double bottom, maybe potential triple bottom on the weekly time frame. I'm starting to like it, right? Bear volume is starting to drop off. We're holding this $20 range. So many things to like about this PLTR name. I really think that this name in a year from now is going to be dumb high. And we're going to all be like, what the hell? Why didn't we buy PLTR when it was at $20 a share? That's what I think personally. Anything can happen, but I'm loving the shape up of PLTR right now. Sens. Okay, this one's interesting. It's a similar situation with PLTR, right? We coiled up, we broke out, and now we had a pullback back into that zone, and it's holding. Very, very interesting. Keep this one on the watch list, right? If we continue to hold this range, I don't see why you would not want to buy, right? Like, it's basically telling you that there's a demand at around 250. It's made highs of $5. That's 111%. Keep Sens on the watch list. If this goes back up to $5, even if you put $1,000 in, dude, no matter how much money you put in, if there's 100% opportunity, especially right now, this is an amazing risk reward trade. Think of it. You get in now, you place your stop, right, at $2.30. Could it get there? Absolutely. It could definitely get there. But there's potential for this trade to go up to $5 here. Whoa, $5.40 even. That's almost a 10-to-1 risk reward opportunity. This week's tickers were awesome. They're really shaping up nice. Remember, in March, I was saying the bearish downtrends and the bearish action in the market will lead to great bullish opportunities on the other side. So now that we've been keeping up with some names, we got some cash ready on the side. It's a new month and we're ready. There's a new cycle. Let's get it. I think we're entering a new quarter and things could be very bullish. Keep watching the names. Sure, things could go down, but I like how things are starting to shape up. We're starting to see the optimism, see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Like, it could be a very bullish summer. So that's this week's ticker breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace, guys.